Do you know that you're in control of your recharge? It just dawned on me the other day, and I said, I gotta share this because I honestly do so much to control my recharge. I remember I used to work for Rite Aid drugstores. And I used to go to all these corporate meetings and get all these emails, all the stuff, these all businesses, but corporations mostly really kind of pound on a lot of information, a lot of trying to revive everybody with kind of the same old information over and over again. And I did at the time, I think I did succumb to, it being boring. And there was always an offset, there was always a gap that honestly, way back when, I couldn't feel. And I couldn't feel the gap to say, when I go to these meetings, I get so charged up, so energized. And I'd sit in those meetings and I'd be hearing, a vice president or regional vice president speak and, really want to go out and fight the good fight. And then I'd kind of lose it. I just sit back and say, what happened to that guy, that energy that I felt in my stomach, I felt in my heart, felt my head buzzing sometimes. I was so pumped up to go out and take on the world. And then, as they say, and I don't agree with it anymore, but as they say, then life happens. And to me, that was always my excuse to say, well, I was so pumped up, but this happened and that happened and she called and they called and I use that as an excuse to say I let that kill my recharge. I don't believe that anymore, and that's really kind of a realization that I've came to want to share this information, to this video with you, this information to say, you can control your recharge. And I do, I'm so good at it now. Some of the stuff I do, to me, it was impossible. Me, trust me, I was never that guy to maintain the recharge. I was motivated, I was a go-getter, but I died down. And I'm telling you now that I look back and say that was always an excuse. You had that energy, you had the ability, you had the capacity to never let the charge die down. So now I've learned, I feel that we all have control of our recharge. If you get pumped up, maybe it's a little too high, right? Maybe you get a little too excited, but you should never come down too low. You never let that recharge go too low. You never go too low because you want to come back up. And I just saw a great video on it the other day. It's reminding me of that from a guy named Patrick Bet-David. Reminds me of the same thing, but more about what I think about controlling your recharge is you have so much more control that you don't have to get pumped up. You just have to stay up. When you learn what controls your attitude, your mood, your desires, and your passions, when you learn what controls that, you have that much more help to give yourself and to maintain a certain level that's needed to thrive. All our existence is about growth. You guys ever heard that anywhere in books and all this stuff that we see in motivation and all this social media? It's about growth. It's how to thrive. It's how to not only succeed, but exceed at what you do or what you believe in every area of your life. Not just notary, not just business, not just family, not just extra activity, not the sports you're into, not the games you play, not the crafts that you do or the hobbies that you have. It's in everything. You're supposed to grow and expand in everything that you do. And it doesn't need to be in world domination or in domination of a particular area, but it's just to keep it up and growing at a higher standard always, because that's our potential to just grow into everything that we can do. And now I see it. And I'll tell you a couple things that I do is I make sure that I exercise, right? We see that all the time. People say to exercise. I know that silence can be the worst thing for you. But not if you pick up a book, not if you turn on some music, some good music that actually feeds your mind. What music do you listen to? I think we don't realize how much control we have of what we upload into this mind, right? Everything is technology now. Everything's about a hard drive. Everything's about an algorithm. Everything's about communication, text, email, phone. It's all about communication, and it's what we're constantly taking in. You ever thought about that? That everything you take in results in what you become, results in what you are, results in your problems that you maintain instead of get rid of? It's always what you're feeding your mind. I used to look back at people who tell me this and say, wow, it's just, they're so focused on that whole upload thing, or they're so focused on that type of life. That's not for me. And that's not true, because it was for me and it is for you. It's just, it's hard to see when you're not living it. It's hard to see when somebody else is doing it, because they've made it a habit to live. They've made it a commitment to live, because they understand how much it means to them and their attitude and their environment and the people they hang out with and the businesses that they run. You ever see a happy business owner and kind of look back and say, I don't know, what excuse do you give that happy business owner? Do you think it's easy for them? Or do you think they've came through the same struggles, but they've realized a few more things that hopefully they can show you? And that's why I always tell you, or that's why I always believe, and I'm beginning to tell you in some of these videos, is that, you know, mentorship, finding a mentor, whether it's in a book, in a video, or a website, or just anything that can feed you and allow you to grow, that can feed everything you need to become, that's your true mission. And that's what keeps you recharged. If you dip, recharge, turn on some music, exercise, go for a walk, right? Do something about it. You have that much more control. You just have to act on it. It's there for the taking. Reach out to the right friend. It's not about calling the person who wants to gossip all the time and really take you down and make you believe that everybody's against you and that business sucks and taxes suck and everything's bad. Are you reaching for the right call, for the right phone call, for the right book, for the right music? Are you reaching for the right foods? All right, I struggle with that. I struggle with reaching for the right foods. I'm not always eating everything that's right to help me stay energized. But that's all changing, because I know that's my potential, and I change it every day. Every time I feel me dipping down, I ask myself, why are you dipping down? What can stop that right now? And you know what? Sometimes it's a 15-minute nap. I think I've covered rest before. But you take a nap and you recharge and you come back and you say, what was all this terrible thoughts I had about how bad the world was? A 15-minute nap really fixed it, because now I think everything's great. Anyways, I hope you guys take this in, take notes on it, watch it again. I think there was so much good information on this video. I'm going to watch it again. Believe it or not, it's going to sound crazy, but by now you should know I'm crazy. I watch my own videos, and I actually do listen, because I've taken so much information away from everybody that I've ever been around, all the books I've ever read, and just throughout my journey, I've really pulled everything that I believe is beneficial to me and to everybody that I want to share it with. So take it all in, reflect on it, and move on. Thank you so much for watching. Please, I will always desperately ask for you to subscribe to the Mobile Notary Network. Check us out on Instagram at Notary Professionals. And if you haven't checked out our website or follow us on Facebook, which is at notaryprofessionalsofamerica.com, you need to go do it now. It's just a click away. Go check it out. Take care.